Hi, and welcome to Sandy's Numerology. Late yesterday afternoon, the South African bonds dropped quite badly, and it was announced that the Reserve Bank will be buying government bonds from the secondary market, not directly from Treasury, which is the primary market. It will also inject liquidity into the market and also help relieve pressure in the bond market. And it's almost like a preventative measure. And by selling government bonds, the Reserve Bank causes money market liquidity to tighten and money supply to decline. The money paid over to the Reserve Bank is withdrawn from the financial system, and conditions are eased and liquidity is injected if the Reserve Bank purchase the government bonds, which they will then reintroduce when things kind of start looking a little bit better. So many of us, including myself, are worried about our investments, the markets, our retirement annuity. People are panicking, they need money, they're pulling on their reserves. So I'm going to look at the South African Reserve Bank and the governor of the South African Reserve Bank. So let me go to the governor first. Lesetja Kganyago, born on the 7th of October, 1965. Both his names add to a 9, so this is a thinking man. He's a pondering man. He's an observing man. He's a listening man. Spontaneous, likes to run around a lot. He's not a grounded person, which is fine, but he's got an 11 life path, which makes him a visionary. He's got double hidden 8s, which is all about his health. So governor, please do take care of that. But he's in his life path. His age adds to a 9 right now. So with his first name and his surname, he's a thinking man. He's in that thinking time. And he's going into an age where his age will add to a 1, which will bounce on his month of October. So this is really about how he expresses himself, who he is. It's quite defined. It's kind of defined like our president. He's a little bit defined like Pravin Gordon. There's that wonderful mischievous smile there. But things are fairly good, although things are a little bit tougher on the career front, 9-8, 10-9-8. So from July of this year onwards. So his job is not going to be coasting along anymore. It's already starting to peak. And if we look at the South African Reserve Bank, it was founded and established on the 30th of June, 1921. Since June of last year, it's in a 3-8 year, and it's got too many 3s. And 3 is about material, valuables, money is part of all of that. And this should have been a year of constraint. But the age adds to an 8, which is speaking about all or nothing. And boy, we are in an all or nothing time. But they've got a 4 life path. And starting now already from 2 to 3 months before their birthday in June, they're going into their life path 4, which is massive restructuring. And the restructuring is going to be not only from an internal, how it functions and how it works and its departments, but this is if the Reserve Bank has a strong foundation, it can adapt as long as that foundation remains. So it's going into the year, it's like buying an old house and renovating. That's what they're going to be doing. It's going to be a very hard, flat, long, depressed year. And if you go and look at my video on the ANC and Cyril, the ANC is in a 4 personal year. It's life path. So they are equally being hit by this structure and restructuring and restricting and consolidating. A lot of clearing out that needs to be done there. And I think the South African Reserve Bank will start to change the boundaries and rules. And generally, South Africa is a country that doesn't rush out there like the USA to just print money. But this is not, I don't think it's physically printing money. It's just adding zeros on. And then when things balance out, those zeros will come off. Because in 2021, further changes will take place internally in South African Reserve Bank. And it's going to have a lot to deal with foreign import, export, money, and 5 is government bonds. It will release them. So that's quite interesting, that this could start this time next year in 2021, where those bonds get re-released, which actually makes things, in what I'm saying, South Africa starting to turn around and people starting to reconnect and people wanting to invest, that because the South African Reserve Bank's age will add to a 1 in 2020, and it has no 1s, and that's where its fortune is, which is really, really good. So people, there's a plan in motion here that is right. Without the braggart kind of ego, narcissistic President Donald Trump. This is really bringing on the core of our ministers in departments. And it's about the individuals and how they are behaving incredibly well under these circumstances, and I think that they will continue with that. And importantly is our Minister of Finance, Tito Mboweni, born on the 16th of March 1959. His age adds to a 7 right now, so there's his running around. We look at our Governor of Reserve Bank, he's got 7, so between the two, there's a lot of running around there. But Tito's going to be in a 5 personal year. He's got to be very careful about contagion around his personal front. And this would have started two and a half months ago, before his birthday on the 16th of March. He's got to watch. He's got to watch out. He's got to watch out for the coronavirus. It's sitting in his personal environment, friends and family. But he's got a lot of work to be doing for us, for the country, for the Reserve Bank, National Treasury, and of course SARS. SARS has got a very, very difficult time. SARS was born on the 5th of September 1997. It is 555s. So SARS as a company is affected by the 5s, which is the coronavirus. Their age adds to a 4 at the moment. They have a 4 life path. So the 4, which is their age, is telling you of the restriction of the outside coming in. So there's a lot of problems on both for them going out and us going in. So that is with the restriction in UIF, PAYE, and VAT that they've put in place. And I reckon those rules will also shift as we go through this April month of our 21 days. I still believe that this is going to be a further lockdown, because SARS in September of this year, age adds to a 5. There are 555s. It's a terrible year for them. Terrible year. And this has affected the effects of SARS 987 starts July this year. Because if you go back to my South Africa 2020 video, the amount of job losses that I was talking about, the restrictions, the boundaries, asking people to be entrepreneurial. I know that SARS has put things in place, and we've got the 2 billion plus other industries that have put money, and ministry departments that have also put money towards a fund. We're going to find our way through this. We are going to find our way through this and out of this. But know for one thing, you cannot go back. We are only going forward. We are changing. The universe is forcing change because we have resisted and we want things as they were. It's not possible. It's not possible. So I definitely give a big ups to the ministers that have been talking on radio, talking to the people. Any information that you need around your PAYE, UIF, and VAT, go to the Government Gazette website. Just write the word Government Gazette in South Africa, click on it. The rules and everything are there. And with us being restricted in the month of April is to also force us to gather ourselves. I will say this again, one nation, one destiny. We've done this before. We will rise, we will stick together, and we will begin to appreciate. With all the food panic and buying and everything, there are no exports going out of the country, so all the food that was going out is still here in the country. So we've been told our reserves are good, and this April month is going to add a lot of conditioning in getting to realize how little you really need and how you can find your way around with certain things that you expect to have that you can't have, and what you've got and how you can do and use and be. Thank you for watching Sandy's Numerology. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click on the bell icon for notification of any new shows.